Last December, we looked at our Christmas decorations and couldn't believe we spent over $3,000 trying to make our home look special. After spending all that money on expensive ornaments, designer garlands, and those pre-made luxury decorations from high-end stores, something still felt missing. Our tree had those costly glass ornaments, the mantle was covered in premium garlands, and we even bought those fancy pre-made centerpieces that cost hundreds. But even after spending so much, our house didn't have that magical Christmas feeling we were dreaming of. That's when we discovered something that changed everything. This year, we tried something completely different. We decorated our entire house for just $500. And here's the amazing part: everyone thinks we spent even more than last year. Our neighbors actually thought we hired an expensive decorator. We found incredible ways to make budget-friendly decorations look like luxury items, and today we're sharing all our secrets with you. The best part is that we didn't do any complicated crafts or spend hours on DIY projects. Instead, we discovered a simple method that works like magic. Remember those beautiful wreaths you saw at the fancy stores for $150? We made the exact same look for just $20. That stunning table setting you spotted in those designer magazines? We created it for less than $45. And our Christmas tree? People can't believe we decorated it mostly with dollar store finds. It looks just like those $500 designer trees you see in luxury stores. But wait until you hear about our biggest discovery. We call it the luxury layer method. It's so simple that we couldn't believe no one told us about it before. This method works with any budget, any room size, and any decorating style. The best part? You can start using it right away with things you probably already have at home. We went shopping at all the regular stores: Dollar Tree, Walmart, Target, and Amazon. But the real secret wasn't just about where we shopped, it was about what we bought and how we used everything. For example, we found this one $5 item at Target that completely changed how our whole display looked. And those basic plastic ornaments from the dollar store? We'll show you how to make them look like they're from those expensive boutiques where similar ornaments cost $15 each. Throughout this video, we'll show you exactly how much we spent on everything. No hidden costs, no expensive tools needed, just simple tricks anyone can do. We'll also share all the mistakes we used to make, so you don't waste thousands like we did. By the time you finish watching, you'll know every single trick we used to create this magical Christmas transformation. From making your tree look fuller without buying more ornaments, to creating beautiful centerpieces that look expensive but cost almost nothing, we'll show you all our secrets. And yes, we'll even share that special Target hack that everyone keeps asking about in our comments. But first, let us tell you about the most important thing we learned: the 3-layer method that completely changed how we decorate for Christmas. The luxury method. Before we show you all our room transformations, let's talk about the most important thing we learned this year: our luxury layer method. We used to think making a home look expensive meant buying expensive things. But we were so wrong. The real secret is all about how you put things together, and we discovered a simple 3-step method that works every single time. Let's start with what we call the base layer. Think of it like building a house. You need a good foundation. For example, when we decorated our tree, we didn't just throw lights on randomly like we used to. Instead, we bought 3 sets of basic white lights from Walmart for $4 each. But here's the trick: we placed them in 3 different layers, starting deep inside the branches. Just this simple change made our tree look twice as expensive before we even added any decorations. Now, here comes our favorite part: the statement layer. This is where most people go wrong. They try to make everything special, which actually makes nothing look special. Instead, we picked just 3 main spots in each room to be our focal points. On our tree, we used special ornaments just for the middle section. On our mantle, we created one stunning centerpiece. This way, your eye knows exactly where to look, just like in those designer magazines. But the real game changer was our 3rd layer, what we call the magic touch layer. This is where we used our favorite dollar store trick. Those basic glass vases from Dollar Tree? We transformed them with a special spray paint that cost $5. Now they look exactly like those expensive mercury glass pieces that cost $40 each. We'll show you exactly how we did this later in the video. Here's another secret that saved us hundreds of dollars. We made a shopping plan. Before buying anything, we wrote down exactly what we needed from each store. At Dollar Tree, we bought all our basic decorations, ornaments, garlands, and glass items. Target was perfect for our special focal point pieces, especially during their holiday sales. Walmart had the best prices on lights and basic greenery. And Amazon? That's where we found some amazing deals on those little extra touches that made everything look expensive. We also learned something really important about timing. Those fancy decorations we bought last year for $100? We found the exact same ones this year for $25. We just had to shop at the right time. We'll share our complete shopping schedule later, but here's a hint: it's not when most people think. Let's talk about color for a minute. Last year, we used every Christmas color we could find. But this year, we stuck to just 3 colors and suddenly everything looked more coordinated and expensive. The best part? When you use fewer colors, you can buy cheaper decorations because everything looks more purposeful and planned. Now that you know our 3-layer method, let's start with our biggest transformation: our Christmas tree. What we did here really shows how our method works, and wait until you see how we made those dollar store ornaments look like they cost 10 times more. Tree Masterclass? Let's move to everyone's favorite part, our Christmas tree transformation. Last year, this same tree cost us over $500 to decorate. This year, we spent just $85 total, and it looks even more magical. We're going to show you exactly how we did it, using our 3-layer method. Before we put on a single decoration, we discovered a trick that changed everything: the fluffing method. Most people just pull out the branches and start decorating. Instead, we spent 30 minutes doing what we call the diamond space technique. We separated each branch into 3 sections and created little diamond-shaped spaces between them. This simple trick made our artificial tree look fuller and more expensive before we even started decorating. Now, here's where we saved the most money: the lights. Instead of buying those expensive pre-lit strings that cost $30 each, we bought 6 boxes of basic white lights from Walmart for $4 each. But the magic wasn't in the lights themselves, it was how we put them on. We started deep inside the tree, about 6 inches from the trunk. Then we worked our way out in layers, just like they do in those fancy department store displays. When we turned the lights on, our tree started glowing from the inside out. Let's talk about our favorite dollar store hack: those basic round ornaments everyone has. We bought 3 sizes: large, medium, and small. But here's our secret trick: we didn't hang them randomly. We put the biggest ones deep inside the tree first, pushing them back into those diamond spaces we created. Then we added the medium ones in the middle layer, and finally, the small ones on the outer branches. This created what we call the waterfall effect, and it looks just like those designer trees we saw in the mall. Remember those empty spots every tree seems to have? We found an amazing solution at Dollar Tree. They had these sparkly picks that looked exactly like the $8 ones from Target. We bought 15 of them for just $15 total. The trick was pointing them slightly upward. This filled the gaps and made everything look fuller. For our tree topper, we tried something completely different this year. Instead of spending $45 on a new one, we took 3 sparkly picks from Dollar Tree, added some ribbon we already had, and created our own designer-looking topper. Everyone asks where we bought it, and they can't believe we made it ourselves for just $3. Here's another trick that made a huge difference: mixing textures. We added some matte ornaments between the shiny ones, some frosted picks between the sparkly ones, and even some plain ribbon between the decorative ones. This simple mixing made everything look more expensive, even though most items came from the dollar store. The final touch was something we almost forgot: the tree skirt. Those beautiful velvet ones cost over $100 in stores. Instead, we used a soft white blanket we already had, and added some silver ribbon around the edges. It looks even better than those expensive ones, and it didn't cost us anything extra. Now, let's move to another amazing transformation: our fireplace mantle. Wait until you see how we created a designer look using mostly dollar store items. Statement walls and mantle. After our tree transformation, we tackled what used to be our biggest challenge, the fireplace mantle and statement wall. Last year, we spent over $300 just on this area. This year, we created something even more beautiful for just $65, and everyone thinks it looks more expensive than last year's design. Let's start with what we call our garland trick. Instead of buying those thick, expensive pre-lit garlands that cost $80 each, we tried something different. We bought 3 basic green garlands from Dollar Tree, yes, just the $1.25 ones. Here's our secret. We twisted all 3 garlands together before putting them on the mantle. But we didn't just lay them flat like most people do. Instead, we created soft waves and dips, just like we saw in those designer home magazines. Now, here's where our dollar store magic really worked. We bought 20 different picks, some sparkly, some with berries, and some with pine cones. But we didn't just stick them in randomly. We grouped them in clusters of 3, creating what we call impact points. These clusters made our $4 garland look just as full as those $80 ones from the fancy stores. For lighting, we discovered something amazing. Instead of using regular string lights, we found these thin copper wire lights at Walmart for $5 each. We bought 3 sets, but here's the clever part: we wove them deep into the garland in different layers. Some lights went inside, some in the middle, and some on top. When we turned them on, the whole mantle started glowing like it was magical. Let's talk about those beautiful mercury glass decorations everyone loves. Instead of spending $35 each on them at the home decor stores, we made our own. We took plain glass vases from Dollar Tree and used a special spray paint that cost $8. After 2 light coats, they looked exactly like the expensive ones. We placed these on both ends of the mantle and filled them with some leftover ornaments and lights. For our statement wall above the fireplace, we tried something totally new. Those big Christmas signs at the stores were selling for $100 or more. Instead, we created what we call a floating ornament wall. We used fishing line from Walmart, just $2, and hung different sized ornaments at various heights. When the light hits them, they look like floating Christmas bubbles. Everyone asks where we bought this art installation. The stockings were another big save. Nice ones cost at least $25 each, and we needed 4. Our solution? We found plain red stockings at Target for $3 each and added our own decorations. We used ribbon and buttons we already had, plus some sparkly snowflakes from Dollar Tree. Total cost? $16 for all 4 stockings, and they look custom made. For the finishing touch, we added something special on the corners of the mantle. We made these beautiful picks by combining 3 different Dollar Tree items. Some glittery stems, some berry picks, and some pine cones we spray painted gold. These fancy looking corner pieces cost us just $2 each to make, but they look just like the $20 ones we saw in stores. Now let's move to another space that really shows how our 3-layer method works: our dining area. Wait until you see the centerpiece we created for less than $40 that looks like it cost hundreds. Dining and entertaining. Let's talk about our dining area transformation, where we got really creative with our budget. Last year, we spent over $400 just on table decorations. This year, we created something even more stunning for just $85. And it's perfect for both everyday dinners and holiday parties. Our biggest challenge was the centerpiece. Those pre-made ones in stores were selling for $150 or more. Instead, we created something even more beautiful using our 3-layer method. We started with 5 glass cylinders from Dollar Tree. That's just $6.25 total. But here's our clever trick. We didn't just line them up in the middle of the table. We created what we call a light cascade by using different heights. Now for our favorite part: filling these vases. Instead of using expensive flowers or greenery, we tried something different. We mixed silver and white ornaments from Dollar Tree in each vase. But here's the magic touch: we added these amazing battery-operated fairy lights we found at Walmart for $3 each. When we turned them on, the whole table started sparkling like diamonds. Between these glowing vases, we did something special with garland. We took 2 basic pine garlands from Dollar Tree, just like the ones we used on our mantle. We twisted them together, but this time, we added something extra. We found these beautiful silver-painted pine cones at Target in their dollar section, 3 bags for $9. We tucked them into the garland, and suddenly it looked just like those expensive pre-made ones that cost $60. Let's talk about our place settings. This is where we really fooled everyone. Those charger plates at fancy stores cost $12 each, and we needed 8. Instead, we bought silver plastic ones from Dollar Tree for $1.25 each. But here's our secret: we lightly sprayed them with the same looking glass spray paint we used for our mantel vases. Now they look like aged silver antiques. For the napkins, we did something really clever. Instead of buying those expensive holiday napkins that cost $8 each, we got plain white ones from Walmart for $6 for a pack of 8. Then we learned this fancy folding technique that makes them look like they're from an expensive restaurant. We added $1 silver napkin rings from Dollar Tree, and nobody can tell they're not the expensive kind. Here's another money-saving trick we discovered: layering different textures. On each place setting, we used 3 different materials: shiny, our charger plates; soft, the napkins; and sparkly, some small ornaments we used as place card holders. This mixing of textures is what fancy designers do, but we did it with budget items. For extra sparkle, we scattered some tea lights and clear holders between all our decorations. These holders were just $1 for 4 at Dollar Tree. But here's our secret: we didn't put them in a straight line. We created little clusters here and there, and when they're lit, the whole table looks like it's covered in stars. The best part about our table setting is that most of these things aren't just for Christmas. We can use the charger plates, vases, and lights all year round. We just change the ornaments and garland for different seasons. It's like getting multiple table settings for the price of one. Now, let's move to an area that really challenged us: our small spaces and entryway. Wait until you see how we made these tight spaces look absolutely magical without spending much at all. Entryway and small spaces. Now let's talk about what used to be our biggest headache: decorating our small spaces and entryway. This is where most people think they need expensive pieces to make an impact. Last year, we spent almost $350 trying to make our tiny entryway look special. This year, we created something even more magical for just $75. Let's start with our biggest wow factor: the entryway wreath. Those beautiful pre-made wreaths at fancy stores were selling for $129. We made one that looks even better for just $18. Here's how. We started with a basic $6 wreath from Walmart, but the magic happened when we added our special touches. We bought 3 different kinds of picks from Dollar Tree: some sparkly ones, some with berries, and some plain green ones. But here's our secret: we didn't just stick them in randomly. We created what we call impact clusters, putting 3 different picks together before adding them to the wreath. For our small entryway table, we tried something completely new. Instead of buying one expensive centerpiece, we created what we call a light tower. We took 3 glass vases from Dollar Tree, different sizes, and filled them with white ornaments, and those same fairy lights we used on our dining table. But here's the trick: we put the tallest one in the back, medium in the middle, and shortest in front. When they're all lit up, it looks like a waterfall of light. Above our entry table was just a plain mirror that needed some Christmas magic. Designer mirror decorations were selling for $75 or more. Instead, we created what we call a light frame. We took a basic garland from Dollar Tree, added some battery-operated lights, and draped it around the mirror. At night, it creates this beautiful soft glow that makes everyone look better in the mirror, a happy accident we discovered. For our narrow hallway, we found an amazing solution. Those fancy hanging decorations at stores were $45 each. Instead, we created what we call floating snowflakes. We got large paper snowflakes from Dollar Tree, 3 for $3.75. Here's our designer secret: we sprayed them with silver glitter spray we already had, then hung them at different heights using clear fishing line. When the light hits them, they look like crystal decorations floating in the air. In our tiny corner spaces, we tried something really clever. We bought plain lanterns from Dollar Tree, just $1.25 each. But we didn't leave them plain. We spray painted them with metallic silver paint, then created different heights by stacking them on covered books. Inside each lantern, we put those battery-operated candles from Dollar Tree. At night, these corners glow like they're straight out of a fancy magazine. For small shelves and windowsills, we discovered something we call mini magic spots. Instead of trying to fit big decorations, we created tiny scenes using small items from Dollar Tree. A small glass bowl filled with mini ornaments, a tiny bottle brush tree, and a tea light total cost $3.75, but it looks so expensive and intentional. The best part about all these small space solutions, they don't take up any floor space, which is perfect for tiny areas. And most of these items can be stored flat or stacked together, solving another common small space problem: storage. Now, let's share our biggest money-saving secrets, the shopping tricks that helped us find all these amazing deals. Wait until you hear where we found our best bargains. Budget secrets and shopping guide. Now it's time to share our biggest money-saving secrets, the shopping tricks that helped us save over $2,500 this year. We discovered that it's not just about where you shop, but when and how you shop that makes the biggest difference. Let's start with our favorite store, Dollar Tree. This is where we found about 60% of our decorations, but there's a trick to shopping here. We learned to go early in the season, right when they first put out their Christmas items. This is when you'll find those amazing glass vases, the best picks, and all the basic ornaments. But here's our secret: don't just grab everything. We always bought things in sets of 3 or groups of 5. Why? Because decorating in odd numbers always looks more expensive and intentional. Next up is Target. This is where we found our special pieces, but not in the way you might think. We never bought from the main Christmas aisles. Instead, we discovered their secret weapon, the dollar spot at the front of the store. Those beautiful silver pine cones we used? Found them there for $3, while similar ones in the Christmas section were $12. We also learned to check Target's app every Sunday. This is when they released their holiday deals, and we saved big this way. Walmart became our best friend for lights and basic greenery. But here's something most people don't know: they marked down their greenery twice before Christmas. We bought our basic garlands at 40% off in early December, then went back and got more when they hit 60% off. The best part? We could still use them for this year's decorating. Now, let's talk about our after Christmas shopping strategy. Last year, right after Christmas, we hit all the stores and found amazing deals. Those beautiful mercury glass ornaments that were $25 a box. We got them for $6. We stored them away, and now they're the stars of this year's decorations. The best things to buy after Christmas are tree ornaments, ribbon, and any kind of lights. They'll still be perfect next year. Here's another money-saving trick we discovered: mixing high and low pieces. We only bought a few expensive-looking items, usually from Target's clearance section, then surrounded them with our dollar store finds. Remember those beautiful vases on our mantle? One real mercury glass vase from Target clearance, $12, surrounded by our DIY Dollar Tree versions, $2 each. Nobody can tell which is the expensive one. We also learned about something called shopping your home. Before buying anything new, we looked around our house. Those plain glass vases we never use? Perfect for Christmas displays. Old silver trays from the kitchen? Beautiful centerpiece bases. We even used white bedsheets as tree skirts and tablecloths. After folding them the right way, they looked just like those expensive ones from department stores. Let's wrap up with our final reveal and show you how all these money-saving tricks came together to create something truly magical. Final reveal and tips. Now for our favorite part, let's walk through our completely transformed home and share our final numbers. When we add up everything we spent this year, including all our clever Dollar Tree finds, Target deals, and Walmart bargains, the total comes to just $500. Remember, last year we spent over $3,000, and this year's decorations look even better. Let's start in our entryway, where that $18 DIY wreath welcomes everyone. Next to it, our light tower display that costs just $12 to make glows beautifully every evening. That mirror with its magical light frame? Total cost was $15. but it looks like those $100 designer pieces we saw in magazines. Moving to our living room, our tree is the star of the show. From the base to the topper, we spent exactly $85 on new decorations. Those layered lights we talked about created such a magical glow. And remember those dollar store ornaments we arranged in our special waterfall pattern? Nobody believes they're not expensive decorations. Our mantle transformation cost just $65 total, but it looks just as good as last year's $300 version. In our dining area, that stunning table display that everyone thinks came from an expensive store? Just $85 for everything, including all those glowing vases, the garland, and every single place setting. And remember, most of these items we can use all year round, just styled differently. Now let's share our top 5 tips that we learned from this whole experience. First, always buy in odd numbers. Groups of 3 or 5 look more expensive than even numbers. Second, stick to a simple color scheme. We used silver, white, and gold, which made even dollar store items look high-end. Third, lighting is everything. We learned that lots of small, warm lights make everything look more expensive than a few big lights. Fourth, create layers everywhere, whether it's on your tree, mantle, or table. And fifth, our biggest lesson: leave some empty space. Not filling every spot actually makes your decorations look more expensive and intentional. Here's something else we discovered: timing really matters. The best times to shop are early morning on weekdays at Dollar Tree. That's when they put out new stock. Sunday mornings at Target, new sales start. And Wednesday evenings at Walmart, fresh markdowns. And don't forget, after Christmas sales, that's when we'll be buying basics for next year. Before we end, let's talk about storage. We're keeping all our DIY creations and special finds in clear storage bins, labeled with pictures. This way, we can easily recreate these looks next year. We're even planning to make some small changes and updates using the money we saved this year. Remember when we started this journey? We thought beautiful Christmas decorations had to be expensive. Now we know better. With some creative thinking, smart shopping, and our 3-layer method, you can create a magical Christmas home without spending thousands. The best part? Nobody will ever guess how little you spent. Thank you for joining us on this holiday decorating journey. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more budget-friendly decorating ideas throughout the year. And remember, sometimes the most beautiful things don't come with a big price tag. They just need a little creativity and know-how.